The 2023 NBA season is going to have a ton of talent, and in today's video we're going to be predicting the most improved or most notable jump in talent for this season. I'd just like to make one thing clear. The third player we are going to be talking about in today's video is Chet Holmgren. I'm very aware that he did not really have a proper rookie season, but I think with the 15 to 20 pounds he's added in the offseason, paired with just the adaptation of getting into the gym with a proper NBA staff, from the medical side of things and just from the physical side of things, I'm really excited to see how his season is. We are going to talk about him third in today's video, but just so we're all on the same page, I'm very aware he probably doesn't have a big chance to win the most improved player award while these other players do. With that being said, let's get straight into this thing talking about Keagan Murray. Keagan Murray had a very impressive rookie campaign, honestly all over. He was a great shooter, he was great in rebounding, especially in the last 20 games and in the postseason. He's just very versatile as a player. He made the most three-pointers ever as a rookie in one season, and like I said, he played really well in the playoffs. He actually had a 25-point game, I believe it was in game 3 against the Golden State Warriors, and the defending champions ended up winning that series in 7 games due to Steph Curry's heroic 50-point game in game 7, but I digress. Keagan was a great three-point shooter this season, coming in at around 41%, and this next season I think we're going to see him become a lot more comfortable off the dribble. I also really liked with Keagan's campaign that he played 80 out of 82 games in this first season. He's really durable. We obviously saw him in Summer League, I believe it was yesterday or 2 nights ago, dropped 41 points. A lot of people are laughing, saying that he shouldn't even be playing in Summer League because last season he won the Summer League MVP, and he was a playoff starter for 7 games this postseason. Nonetheless, Keagan is absolutely amazing. When looking at his rookie stats, they're not very eye-popping, as he only averaged 12 points, just under 5 rebounds, and 1 assist a night. However, the things that are really enticing to me are that he didn't even play 30 minutes a game. He didn't even attempt 10 field goals a game, and the efficiency everywhere is really solid, as he shoots 45, 41, and almost 47% from the free throw line. Keagan is going to just grow into a better player as his usage develops. I think with Sabonis and Fox, he is a great third or fourth option for the Sacramento Kings team, and I could really see this next season him averaging in the ballpark of 16 to 18 points. I'm not really sure if that's enough to win most improved player, especially when you consider the fact that when we're talking about the most improved player of the year award, a lot of times people don't like to give it to sophomores because they always say when you're a rookie, you're supposed to get better from your rookie to sophomore year. It just depends on how big the jump is. For the second player who I think deserves a lot of flowers, and I think this season is going to get a lot of flowers just because Victor Wembanyama was just drafted to this franchise, is Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell is a great shot creator off the dribble. He really knows how to use his feet and body to bump people off their spots and get open off screens. He's very efficient even with the high usage. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but I digress. He has a ton of potential to create a 2-man game with Victor Wembanyama. He's a great ball handler and shows a lot of potential on the defensive side of the ball, not just on the perimeter, but he does a really great job of, if he gets beat, making a contest on the back and on the glass. Something that's really important to note with Devin's game is that as he's gotten more minutes and more reps, his statistics have been increasing every season, as he went from averaging 5 points in 17 minutes to 12 points in 27 minutes, and then 18.5 points in 31 minutes this last season. Devin's third-year campaign was cut short due to injury, but this season it's going to be a ton of fun to watch him. For those of you who haven't ever watched Devin Vassell, he kind of reminds me of Bradley Beal almost, just with his silky smooth offensive game, but I think he is going to be a better defender than Bradley Beal when his career ends up panning out. This Spurs team has a ton of young talent, but I think Devin, other than Victor, is probably going to grow the most. Keldon Johnson and Tre Jones are also really great pieces for the Spurs team. However, I think Tre Jones is more focused on being a facilitator, and Keldon Johnson is a lot less efficient than Devin Vassell, and we saw that a lot in the Spurs games this season. If you were watching the Spurs, Pop had no problem benching Keldon Johnson when he was making mistakes. But in the short 38 games that Devin Vassell was out there, we never really saw him get, shoved to the bench for making bonehead mistakes. I think Devin is a very, very talented young star, and he has a really, really great shot of snatching up this Most Improved Player award trophy, especially if he can jump his averages up to 22 or 24 points per game, and the Spurs are even half decent. It's going to be really exciting to watch him play this year. And finally, like I said at the beginning, for the third player we're going to talk about, we have Chet Holmgren. Chet is super lengthy and a very shifty shot creator. He just possesses such a long and elite wingspan that when he gets low and drops himself lower than the defender, it's really hard to keep up with his change of direction and change of pace. He has a great ball control, and his face up and back to the basket shot making has been elite from what we've, the small sample size of what we've seen at Gonzaga and in the summer league. Chet's game, it resembles a less fluent KD, and that's just because he's so young. You definitely see the shades of KD in it, especially when he's going right to left and, like I said, getting really low. He did put on some weight, so his back to basket game is looking a little bit better. And what I really like about Chet's game is when we saw Kevin Durant enter the league, we didn't really see that much potential on the defensive side of the ball. Now Kevin has grown to one of the most elite rim protectors in the NBA, and honestly has really good hands as well. But with Chet out of the gate in the summer league, I've noticed he shows a ton of early potential on the defensive side of the ball, just using his height advantage on both offense and defense. Obviously the summer league talent is nothing compared to what the actual NBA club is, but nonetheless the ability for Chet to just score and the ability for Chet to rebound and just play face up is really, really, really showing through in the summer league and was showing through at Gonzaga. I think in Oklahoma City that's going to play a big factor in how well he does. You have someone like Josh Giddey who is absolutely gifted at facilitating and just making his teammates get better shots. Then you have someone like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, obviously, who's taking a ton of shots and is going to be the focal point of the offense. So it should give Chet a less stressful couple of games when a lot of the opposing coaches and teams are going to be game planning solely against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey, because with those two alone, they almost made the play-in. I think Chet is going to slide really, really well into this Oklahoma City offense. Their coach was a Coach of the Year finalist. The team, like I said, they were a couple games out of making the playoffs, and they did make the play-in, and they had a very sad loss in the play-in, but I digress. Chet Holmgren, I think, honestly, is a prospect who I have a lot of faith in for kind of no reason. A lot of people feel like he's going to be injury prone, but I don't know. I have a really decent feeling about Chet. I hope his ankle or foot injury, with the LeBron stuff, I hope that healed up, and I hope he's, feeling close to 100%. Obviously, when you're playing basketball every day, you're never really at 100%. But what do you guys think? Which of these three players is going to grow the most and possibly win the Most Improved Player award? Let me know the answer in the comments below. If you made it this far, I appreciate your support as always. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Peace.